Welcome back, my kindred, to Canada by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. Val and her friends arrived at the brawl and were led to an arena in the woods, but something felt very wrong when they were locked in cages until their fights were called. And as they watched the first fight, they immediately realized that the Brawl For It All was a fight to the death. Robin bargained with the organizer to fight Jack's fights as well as his own, and Val was called to face her first opponent. Not wanting to take a life, she tried to fake it, but the announcer called her out and declared she had no choice but to finish it. Will Val choose to cross this line, or will she find another way out? Find out now as we return to the world of darkness.
Val, you are poised over Joseph Triviani in this sand-filled arena being overlooked by rich people at the Brawl For It All, and you know that you can kill him now, or this fight will continue, and he does intend to kill you, but you might, there's the slimmest chance, be able to make another play to try to spare his life, possibly at the cost of your own. What do you do?
Val's grappling with him, got him in another pin, has him under her arm, the arm bar around his throat. And in her mind, she's just thinking, I've killed so many animals. This is just like the deer. It's just like killing a deer as she looks into his eyes. But it's one of those things where she's reminding herself of that. But as she looks at this guy, she's saying in her head, like, it's just like killing an animal. And this guy almost got you killed because he fought you in the middle of the snow and all of this stuff. And then she thinks the only reason that I found any of these people was because that happened. The only reason I got anything was because of not going through with something awful and then finding people who were better. And so she grabs him and throws him down in the middle of the arena and she says, "Disqualify me."
Joseph, you have been hurled into the middle of the arena. She has yelled to be disqualified, but the fight is continuing. What do you do?
I'm on the ground, splayed out, and I'm just like, what? What is this? Hey, can you believe this? What did I say, huh? What did I say? Seriously, what did I say?
What did you say?
I was like, hey, she's a joke stealer, and you all laughed. This is on you as much as it's on me and her. All right. So, you think you're better than me? Because you don't want to kill me? Do you know who I am? I'm Joseph Trivia! I'm the king of pipe hitting and purse snatching. I'm taking you down, lady.
Well, if you're not going to fight, let's make this interesting. Mr. Triviani, your weapon of choice. And a pipe sails down and lands in the sand next to you, Joseph.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Come on. Right here. I'm gonna hit you in the ankles. Then when you reach for your ankles, I'm gonna hit you in the head. And when you're hit in the head, I'm probably gonna kick you.
And then while he's mid saying that, Val is closing the distance and trying to put a boot into his chest and the hand onto the pipe and get it from him.
All right. Can you roll me a brawl and strength? And Joseph, can you roll me a brawl / physical check, but add your 2 die specialty because you're a pipe man.
Union made. It's important to me. Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a one success.
You have 1 success, but you also rolled 2 ones.
So guess what happens to that one success?
Oh,
You
it's
rolled a negative one.
Negative one.
I rolled 1 success.
Val, you lash out and kick him in the chest as you yank this pipe away.
Yeah.
And you feel something give with that kick. Ooh. And there is an audible crunch. And Joseph, you find yourself staggering back, having lost your pipe. And suddenly it's hard to breathe. It feels like there are things crunching inside you, slicing inside you, and there's blood in your mouth. What are your final words as you choke to death on your own blood?
I'm dying. What the fuck?
Joseph Triviani lays dead at your feet, Val.
It's not as intended. And just standing there looking at this man, and then this is what I ended up killing someone over? This? With these rich people? I don't know. It's just an instant angry snap, and she throws the pipe up into the audience.
Incredible. Where are you throwing it? You have options.
Towards Damien, the guy who's been sassing.
Damon Corthal. All right, roll me a dexterity, and I'm going to say firearms.
Oh, great.
Feels right for your
I'll
throw.
take it. Okay, not bad. I don't know how strong this guy is. That is 4 successes.
Damn.
You hurl it up, and it's a great throw. This thing is flying, it's spinning, it's soaring straight towards Damon before anybody can react. No one has even moved, and it slaps into his palm directly in front of him. And he catches it and flips it around in his hand and sets it down next to him and says, "Our winner, Valerie the Demon. Little bit of spice in this one, but she had the killer instinct in the end. We'll return her to her cage and continue our bracketed tournament." The antechamber opens. 4 guards enter with rifles raised now on you. And your valet appears. Says, "Please don't hit me. I think they'll let you kill me, but you'll be forced to compete or they'll kill you."
That's what this has been the whole time, huh?
Yes, I've come to realize that your group may not have been entirely aware of the terms, but they will not change.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And she will turn and walk back where the people with the guns are. But now it's just senses open. Oh, I can't take out 4 people with guns, but we got to look for some wiggle room. We got to look for an out in this situation as much as possible.
Great. You are making your way back towards the cages, but there is an interesting question floating in the realm. John and Robin, you have been outside the arena watching this fight happen, but also you've been in cages and not having had nearly as much attention paid to you. What have you done throughout the duration of this fight? Is there anything you're trying to do? Is there anything active? Are you just watching? Are you lost in yourselves? I'll ask you first, Robin.
I think for the first part of the match where Val is clearly winning, Robin will be taking in this cage. It's interesting that it's a wooden cage, because that seems so much more feasible to break out of than a metal cage. So he's going to be like shaking the bars, looking at like the joints where the wood is being joined and how that's being done. Is it being like lashed together? Are they? Is it like drilled in like joints fitting into each other kind of thing, to assess whether he could potentially break out, or probably more feasibly, if John could break out and break others out.
Great. Roll me a wits and awareness for what you can take in the environment. This includes like shaking things, trying to figure it out.
Mental is 3. I will say, if you want to adjust this pool, as things get more tense in the fight, that draws Robin's attention and he can't necessarily focus on the task as well.
Yeah, I think I would let anyone add, as like the way we'll float this is, if it's something that you think your character would either be good at or be a specialty of theirs, you can add 2 dice to the base pool. I think you have a lot of exposure to this, but what's your pitch on this?
I'm saying this might be a smaller pool, because as the fight goes on and as it gets clearer that like Val is going to have to kill this person and she's saying not to, and she's saying like disqualify me, and he gets a pipe, Robin's probably just watching the fight at that point.
I would say let's go with this pool, and what we'll say is you can figure out what's there, but that's all you get done once you get caught up in the drama.
Okay. 1 success.
You were looking at this cage, and what you can figure out is they are solid poles. They clearly have been taken from kind of the core of trees, and they have been stamped into the ground. You do not know how deep, but each of them is one solid piece that you're moving. They are nearly 6 inches around.
God, okay.
Some of them. The majority of them, they're kind of these central ones where almost there's a larger one and then a smaller one. The smaller one is thicker than like a kendo stick, but not necessarily... It's nowhere near as solid. Like they worked with the wood that they had. At the top, the roof, it's nearly 7 feet up. So you can reach up and touch it. You can't tell if it's screwed in, if it's bound in or something. You're not seeing any rope ties or anything like that. It seems like they were using top-end tools, but they built out of what they had in this clearing or in the local area. That's all I've got for you there. But sturdy, not invulnerable, but the bars are also, separated by, say, 6 or 7 inches. So a thick one, an off one. You're still looking at most a 12-inch gap.
Okay. That's
Might work for the smaller ones of the team.
Say it's feasible for Robin, not so much for John. I'll have to figure something out for John. Okay.
So you put that together about your cages at the edge of this clearing. John, what are you doing?
First, I want to ask Dell something like outside of combat. So, Dell, would Val, were there any possessions left inside of the cage? Like you had the number for our guy, Mr. Cross. Was that within a jacket or anything that would have been left inside of your cage?
I think she would have the number written down on a piece of paper in her wallet.
Yeah, I think you'd have that with you. I think the stuff that would be left behind was like the duffel bag you brought with weapons would not be there, but anything you would believably keep on your person, you would.
Yeah.
So Val still has the number in your jacket. Would you have worn your jacket into the arena?
No.
Then it is in the jacket with the wallet outside of the arena.
Great. So, and it's 10 feet away, so I don't have anything that would have been long enough to really reach, I don't think. So I'm just gazing at the cage, or John's just gazing at the cage and just trying to think of ways to like get at that goddamn number. So then he's just been analyzing everything else around his surroundings. He clocks that Robin's also been looking, and he also clocks our boy Jack. And yeah, it's a lot to take in, but basically he's trying to crack some of these bars open so that he can get over the other cage.
So you're going to test the cage. All right. Can you roll me a physical roll and add 2 additional dice because this is your specialty, which I think will give you 6 dice total.
4, yeah. 6. That doesn't count unless it was a 10, in which case it definitely counted. All right. So, that's all successes. That's 5 successes.
Wow. Yes, you reach out and manage to snap one of the smaller pieces of wood, and you are working on a larger one that's beginning to crack, just yanking it back and forth with your full body, when the valet appears next to the cage along with 2 armed guards and says, "I'm afraid we can't let you do that."
I'm sorry. I was trying to practice my core strength so that my muscles were bigger for the fight to impress the crowds.
Well, if you work from the ground up, that would be great, but breaking the cage is going to be punishable by being in the next fight. And then if you persist before you can make it to the arena, we do have permission to, I'm so sorry, maim you, and then you'll be entered into the arena at a disadvantage.
Oh. Well, I don't want that because I'm all about sticking to the rules. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
You can call me Seraphim.
Seraphim?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Seraphim, I'm wondering, would you possibly be able to help me get something from Valerie's cell? There's something of mine on her person, and I really need access to it. It's something I tend to look to for inspiration whenever I'm going into my fights or any kind of athletic competition. It really brings me good luck. And
well, what is it? I want to make sure that it's within the rules.
Well, it's just one of my favorite numbers, and it brings me a lot of luck. And it was written by a very dear friend. And gosh, I would hate to go into a fight and kill somebody or be killed without having that number on that special piece of paper in my hands. Please?
Can you roll me a social roll? I will give you the specialty bonus if you want to add 2 dice, because this is weirdly heartfelt, and it doesn't sound like it would be against the rules.
Okay.
So can't quite figure out what this gives you, but it doesn't seem like a cheat ask.
Hope. Okay, so it's my social plus 2?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 6. Okay. Thank you. I got blows from both friends.
Yep. Had the intrusive thought of spitting.
That is 3 successes.
It's 2 10s, so it's 5 successes.
It's 5 successes.
Hell yeah, Zorg.
Fantastic. From tying the roll to beating the roll. And she says, yes, I can get you that. I'll be back in a moment. She goes over to the other cage while this fight is happening, just hurrying, finding the piece of paper with a number on it. Is it a phone number?
It looks like a phone number, but it's not a phone number, so ignore the hyphens.
Ah, yes. A secret code between friends. And she comes over and gives you the piece of paper.
Thank you. And then I just look at it, I'm like, I'm doing the number back in my head. I'm like saying it over and over. 1 3 3 7 7 5 7 8 2 1 3 3 7 7 5 8, or whatever the
Is
number.
there anything else I can do for you?
Yes. There's my other good luck charm is a working cell phone. I'm wondering.
It's 1985.
A what?
Sorry. Do you have like, I don't know, a rotary phone?
What? Are you asking if I can make a call for you?
I'd like to call my priest.
At this time?
Holding a scrap of paper that's totally not a phone number.
You don't understand. It's not a regular priest. This is a fight trainer who's done some of these brawls before themselves, but they are a priest of combat.
Oh, so they're a previous competitor.
Yes, but not one you would have met. In one of the...
Well, if you can give me their
but you
name,
don't
I can
know.
check the rolls. We've recorded all the list of champions.
Well, that's the thing about it. They've changed their name multiple times, and the name that you might have had might not have been their name. In fact, it might have been a nom de guerre.
Can you roll me a social roll with no specialty at a -2 die pool?
Oh.
Because this lie is insane.
Yeah. Well,
You got this, buddy.
It's possible.
it's possible.
So that's a success.
One.
One success.
Yeah.
With 4 successes. She looks at you and says, sir, I understand that you're trying to be creative in what you're doing right now, but that clearly is a phone number, and no, you can't just call the outside world.
All right, you caught me. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
Could you please let me out and let me use the phone, though?
No. But I'll let you out so you can fight.
Oh, okay. Well, so... Fuck. All right. Robin,
Yeah.
it's not looking good.
No, I know. I'm sorry, John. I know you didn't want to do this. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hey, Jack,
Yeah,
you doing okay?
so far.
Okay. Guys, can you take down this special number? And then I'm just going to read the number aloud.
that's
very,
fine.
very loudly. Okay. Can you guys repeat that number back to me?
Yep. And I do.
Okay, great. So just keep that special number in mind, that special number that we all love and trust. Okay, I'm done.
And that's what happens until, Val, you are escorted out of the arena, having committed your first murder, back towards your cage. Can you roll me a wits and awareness?
Yeah. 2 successes.
2 successes. You don't get a clear vision of the entire picture, the entire security, but what you do have a clear take on are the security forces that are near you.
Okay.
You're looking at these 4 people escorting you, and they are way too close to be pros. 2 are following behind you, and 1 is pushing you forwards with the barrel of a gun. And you know from all of your training with Rick, with Maria, with anybody, if you are escorting someone with a weapon, you do not touch them with it so they do not know where it is. They're following too close. You could maybe disarm 1. There are plays that could be made here. You're not sure about the larger situation, but you're realizing these are not your grade of military threats.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, well, I killed a person. If I don't do something, all of my people, all of my family could get killed. So it's waiting for the moment they've passed out of the arena back through to the middle section and back closer to the section where the cages and all that is. And then it's making a play to grab the guy that's behind her. Because what's going to happen? Even if we win towards the end of this tournament, they have to kill each other. So like, what is the fucking point at this point? It's the whole, what Rufus Cross said of like, what are you going to live for? Otherwise, you're just dead already. So it's making a play to get the gun from the guy behind her and try to mow down and make some action happen here.
All right, let's see what happens. Can you roll me? I would accept strength or dexterity. One is brute forcing it. The other is trying to move as fast and as dexterously as you can. And I would accept either brawl or firearms. Because it's either from your skill. It's like, who taught you the maneuver you were doing now? Rick, brawl, Maria, firearms.
It's definitely Maria. It's the dexterity. And especially looking at her, that she's big and bulky, seems like this wrestler lady, it's leaning more into the dexterous specific actions of how to disarm and escape that she learned when she was a little kid.
Great. Let's go for it. All right, what'd you get?
All successes, 6 successes.
That is very interesting. Because your opponent that you were spinning around on rolled -1 success. So I am going to say you managed to spin around, reverse the rifle, kill the one directly behind you, kill the guard next to him. You have an armed guard to your left and an armed guard to your right. You are facing the arena. The valet is behind you, escorting you to the cage. You have time to grab one of them, kill one of them, do something with one of them before all hell will break loose and people are starting to react.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Time is slowing around you as your adrenaline flows through you, allowing you to tactically plan this moment, even though it's chaos.
Yep. And think Valerie in her head is just thinking, yeah, what's the tactical play? And to her, she's thinking for a minute, murdering them is not it. She's going to grab the person to her left and get behind them. So if that person next to them starts opening fire, there's a little bit between them. So she's getting behind them and then getting down. It's just trying to give herself some sort of cover. Because if she killed that guy right away, she's standing in the open with nothing to protect her.
When you are behind this person, is this the classic you've taken them hostage, you have your gun, you are behind them?
Yeah.
Great. You have a hostage. You all see this occur. John, Robin, Jack. Valerie is there. Val, is there anything you say with your hostage now in hand? Is the rifle out at the others or is the rifle in at the hostage?
The rifle is out at the others because she's hoping that it all happens fast enough that they maybe shoot the hostage so she can use that as cover to get further in.
Fair enough. All right, let me see if they have enough self-control to not shoot the hostage. They do not. Okay, so they're going to open fire on the hostage.
Is this Seraphin your hostage? The valet?
No,
No, she
it's
grabbed
a
the armed
guard.
one. So the valet
armed
is
one.
currently ducking and bailing out because she is not armed. So she is just running towards the other cages in the clearing, kind of booking it past you, John. Or I think it was Val, John, Rob, and Jack. I think was our order.
I think so.
Could I reach out and try and grab her as well? Because I have more room to reach out once we get to that point.
This is all happening. So let me see this gunfire, and then yes, we will let you try to grab a valet. That is enough successes that I will say the guard that is directly in front of you is riddled with bullets. For the sake of your luck, can you roll me? You know what? Let me roll for them to see if the bullets punch through.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yes. No, that's
The
important.
roll to make. Oh, yeah, that didn't save it all. They come apart like a wet paper bag. Can you roll me a dexterity and athletics?
Yes. 4 successes.
Great. You needed to beat 3. So you successfully do not take any bullets as they riddle the person in front of you. But it gives you the chance to return fire should you so wish.
I think that's exactly it. The guard in front of her gets riddled with bullets. She's sinking down to one knee, shoots back up at the other guard.
Roll me a firearms. We'll give you a dexterity as well with this one for sure.
Come on, Val.
Oh, there we go. So that's 3 successes, 2 are 10s. So that's 5 successes.
Versus 1 success. This guard also comes apart. The weapon clicks dry in your hand, but you can see that there are clips on corpses right in front of you.
And it's without even thinking the smoothest, like playing an instrument you learned when you were a little kid. It's like click, it comes out, grabbing another one off a belt, click it in, grabbing another one, putting it in her pocket, and then running towards the cages where everyone is.
Holy shit.
John, you were trying to grab a valet that was running past your broken cage.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a physical check? This will also include your strength, so add 2 bonus die to it.
Okay. So 6. Okay, 1, 2. That, oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's bad.
That's a -1?
No, you rolled 2 successes and
Yeah.
2 ones, so it's nothing.
It's nothing.
With 2 successes, she dashes past the cage just out of your reach as you lunge out to try to grab her, and she spins aside to continue moving away and past the rest of your friends.
Just wanted a rotary phone.
Fuck you, she says on her way past as she runs. Val, you are in play. People are beginning to react at the arena. Security forces are moving in from the distance. Can you roll me a wits and awareness?
Yeah. The adrenaline is going nuts. It's 3 successes.
3 successes. You can tell that there are 4 more security closing in who are raising rifles. They are in the distance, though. They are coming from the flanks of the arena. They are not immediately here, but they are raising weapons and moving towards you. So there are threats that are coming into play. You're not sure what's happening at the top of the arena. You can't see that, but you are immediately at the cage of John.
Yeah. And it's a panic because there's a level of survivability in her head, but she wants to rescue these people. So it's padlocked.
I broke open one of them.
one of them.
The other one, it was giving a bit. One of them.
Then Val is going to come by the one that's giving and still holding the rifle and looking back at the people coming in is going to try to kick into the one that's starting to give.
Could I help her?
I was going to say, let's get both of you to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll me a strength and athletics and roll me a physical roll and add your 2 dice bonus?
Okay. Let's try this again.
Yeah.
So that's a 5 and 2. So that's a 7. 7 successes.
And I got 3 successes.
10 successes total. This big log breaks. You manage to, in concert, break it. So, John, you are able to escape your cage, stepping out and joining Valerie. But the armed forces are closing in. They're beginning to dash forwards and raise their weapons. What are you doing? The 2 of you are out. You have one more time to act in a traditional, we're using Dungeons and Dragons terms.
Yeah.
One more time to act before they are here and able to act themselves.
Get the others out, Val says as she's running back towards where the people are and starts just spraying down fire to try and slow them down.
Okay, great. Can you roll me a firearms and dexterity?
Yeah. It makes sense. It's very long range. It's only 2 successes.
Yeah, well, they rolled none. So you managed to gun down the leftmost fighter, working your way across. So the arena is in front of you. To the left of the arena from where you were standing and facing, there's 1 security armed and raising their weapons towards you from that direction. And there are 2 to the right who are raising their weapons and beginning to move forwards. John, you have an interesting question because both of your friends are within reach. Do you let Robin out or Jack out first?
I have a question. For Val, are there any guns, like from any of the dead guards nearby, that can be tossed my way quickly?
I mean, Val is busy firing a gun.
Oh, man.
So do you want to go to a body and take up a gun, or do you want to let another friend out of a cage?
I'm letting a friend out, but I'm letting Robin. He's right next to me. He can help.
I can help you free me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just makes the most amount of sense. So I'm like, fine, okay. I'm gonna pull one side, you pull the other side, and make sure to kick while you do it because we need to break these things.
Got it. Yes, go.
All right, you get to roll a combined roll because you did that, but it's crazy. I need a physical roll from both of you. I will say for John, add 2 bonuses for your specialty, and I will also say, Robin, you also get to add 2 bonuses because you do a lot of weightlifting.
Yep.
Okay. And that is 7 again.
-2. No successes and 2 ones.
Oof.
So if we're combining,
5?
I that would make
It goes
sense to me.
5, yeah.
but, Sorry.
Damn it.
Vampire.
You said push, right?
I will give you a devil's bargain, Robin, because you see the guards are closing in, and you see one of them raising their weapon to aim towards this cage. You can keep working, and you will both break through this door, but you realize gunfire will go off in your direction, or you can hit the dirt. What do you do?
I want to make sure I understand the terms.
Door will be open. They're going to shoot at you.
Yep.
You can hit the dirt and let the door stay shut, and you're still trapped in here, but you will not get shot.
But me hitting the dirt is John's cue to hit the dirt also, or am I just fully like, you're on your own? Like I'm not telling John anything. I just drop.
You can yell as you do it, but you do not have time to have a conversation.
Okay.
You have time to yell a single word as you drop.
Okay. Then I will drop. I will give up the breakout attempt currently to say, John, down! That's 2.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm on board. John, you see him abandon the attempt. He's yelled John down. Do you go for a feat of Herculean, Schwarzenbacherian strength? Or do you follow the instructions from your friend Robin? Are you a Ferrigno who can't hear those words because you're so strong? Or are you a Schwarzenbacher, absorbing those words and doing the smart thing?
Pragmatism left the station a long time ago. This coward needs to get out. So I am yanking as much as possible, and but I'm pulling so you just see my profile. So it's just my shoulder. So there's less to hit.
Great. I will say that you do manage to break the door open as bullets begin to fly in your direction. Can you roll me a physical roll with no specialty?
But of course. That's 3 successes.
Unfortunately, I rolled 5. So you will take 2 points of aggravated damage as a bullet punches through your torso, and the second shooter will open fire. Roll me another roll of the same.
That is 2 successes.
With 4 successes, you take another 2 points of aggravated damage as 2 more bullets punch through. You've taken 1 through the leg, 1 through the side of the stomach, and 1 through kind of the upper pectoral area. It has not punctured a lung, but it's clear that you have been hit a lot as bullets riddle through you. John is down. The door comes off the cage. There is another shooter aiming at you, Val. Can you roll me a dexterity and athletics?
John.
3 successes.
All right, you will take 1 point of aggravated damage as you are winged, just creasing the arm deeply, but not enough to impede function on your left side. You're beginning to hear yells and other things from above. Other fighters you can see in the distance are shaking their cages, trying to get out, but no one has John's strength to be able to make the breakout attempt. Val, you have a gun in hand. You've been the first person to act. You're very focused. What do you do?
I'm gunning down the people coming this way. I've got to get rid of these shooters. I can't move around here until people are stop pinning me down shooting.
Dexterity and firearms.
Three successes.
You gun down the other shooter on the left. Your body count has risen to 5 in the last 2 minutes as you continue shooting a combat machine in this. It is surprising for all the rest of you as you see Val moving, because this is not the fighter you've known. This is not Val who has fun times at the movies, Val's expression has gone completely flat. You are seeing pure murderous aggression as she fires, and she is taking people apart with these shots. This is not, oh, she winged somebody, oh, she's spraying fire. You're watching, even though shooting is a frangible skill, which means when you stop doing it, you get worse at it. Val, you have carried this forwards because Maria means you don't go to zero when you take time off. These aren't perfect, head, chest as you're getting them, but you are catching people multiple times in short bursts in closely defined areas. And these are all center mass kill shots that are punching through and exiting people. And the scariest thing to see from the outside as adrenaline hits and time slows is you're not rushing. Gunfire is going off around you, and you are getting tagged while it does not affect your chain of movement to firing again. John is getting hit and does not know what to do. It's not affecting you at all. You are ruthless, focused, professional aggression.
Yeah, because Val's, exactly as you said, I think it felt like this part of her life, hanging out with these people and doing these things, was separate from everything else. And then now that this violence is coming back, it's like she can hear Maria in her head of just like, you sight it down, you take them down, you make sure you don't leave anyone half alive, you don't take chances, you hit the worst spots, you hit them again. It's like, you don't give up until the enemy is down. And she's also thinking, as she's watching these people just get chopped apart by bullets, is like thinking of Maria's arm being chopped off, thinking of the dead body she's seen before. And just she's in that tunnel of like, you just act under pressure in these situations. It's like she could even hear her dad be like, when were you scared of something? When was your dark night? When it's all just a game? And it's like it all comes back to her, but she's not connecting with anything in the moment. It's all just precision.
Rote practice precision.
Yeah.
10 plus years of trained militaristic violence coming out in one large, brutal, lethal explosion of activity.
Yep.
John, you've been tagged 3 times by bullets punching through your Herculean perfect body. But you have opened the door for Robin to be able to get out. What do you do?
Go, run. Remember the number. Get out of here.
John, I'm not leaving you.
Shut the fuck up, but go.
You, Jack, Val, I can't leave you guys.
Go, or we're already dead.
Fuck. Okay. And Robin will run for the house, whispering the phone number over and over and over again as he runs.
And you do that. Can you roll me a dexterity in athletics or salmon athletics? Physical roll, add your specialty, because you do a lot of skipping rope. You do a lot of cardio if you're going to be in fight world.
Yeah.
And adrenaline works for you instead of against you, as it would for some other people.
Okay. 4 successes.
4 successes. You take off running like a bat out of hell to get away from this combat and down this path. John, you've said that Robin has taken off. Val is opening fire and continuing to open fire. Is there any action you take in a traditional combat sense?
Yeah, I think John's going to go to the floor and he's going to crawl towards one of the guns. Just keep very low to the ground. It's also probably taking less strength to wriggle than it would be to get to his feet and try to run for the gun.
Yeah. You dive towards a weapon. You've got one in hand. Are you opening fire?
Hell yeah! So I'm going to try and let me see. How far away are these guys that shot?
They're closing in about 60 feet from where you are right now.
I'm going to actually aim for the door to the cage, and then I'm going to try and spray the opposite direction. Just make a cover as well. So try to open up the door for Jack and also spray towards the guys.
So you're going to shoot at Jack's cage and the bad guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you roll me? It'll be a physical roll. I will let you add your specialty if you empty the clip of this gun entirely while firing it.
Okay. Jack, get down.
Oh, God. He's already crouched on the ground, covering his ears, completely panicked.
Okay, that is 2 successes.
Oh.
Alrighty, you spray bullets as you empty your clip into the distance. Enough ping off of Jack's cage that the wood there is clearly cracked and splintered, and the other 2 approaching security have ducked down to avoid this, but you don't successfully hit either of them. And your gun clicks empty in your hand as it shakes, held on target more than it would be for anyone else with normal musculature in their upper body, but not nearly as lethal or as effective as the gunshots by Val. All right, bad guys are opening fire. Can you roll me a physical roll with your specialty bonus? And can you roll me a dexterity and athletics? John?
4 successes.
4 successes. Staying down, the bullets coming in from security are punching over you into the woods behind you and into the ground in front of you, but you are not hit at all. Val, what'd you get?
2 successes.
2 successes, and the enemy rolls 2 ones and nets out to absolutely nothing.
Oh, God.
I'm going to say that you, while under fire, are returning fire, which is throwing them off, and that security officer is winged, so they're going to have a worse athletics and a worse firearm stats as they take around where they are, both of whom are beginning to advance, and that's when you hear a voice yell out in the night. Ceasefire by order of Damon Corthall. Can you roll me a wits and awareness? John and Val.
1 success.
1 success.
You both are in this position. You're still aimed. You're not sure where that voice is coming from. Would you keep shooting even though you've heard this, or would you stop?
Val would keep shooting. Val would look over her shoulder because she flinched as fire came from behind her that she had not clocked, realized that it was John, and just get out of here. And then she dives for another clip on one of the dead bodies near her.
Yep, I will let you open fire again. So
Great.
Roll me a dexterity and firearms.
Three successes.
3 successes. Okay, you gun down the injured guard that is approaching. John, would you bail or would you try to get a reload from another gun? There are other guns fully loaded in play on the ground around you. These guys died within 5 feet of where Val started this war.
Yeah, going for a gun.
Great.
But I'm going to slide this other one to Jack and be like, just like, use the butt, beat the shit out of these bars.
And
Do it, please.
You slide the gun over. And as you glance back, you hear Val firing again and see another guard cut down. And you see broken wooden logs. And you see a hole in the side of the cage. And you see Damon Corthall, the figure you had only seen from a distance in his outlandish and outrageous outfit, standing with a ritualistic dagger in one hand, his jacket gone, his shirt gone, and you see terrifying tattoos. Blades, fangs, the darkness, blood dripping. There is something wholly supernatural about this as he raises the weapon and says, "I said ceasefire. There will be consequences, and they begin now." Holding Jack by the hair, he slashes downwards in a way that seems, from what you've seen, should be a stab or a cut. However, as he does so, Jack's right arm is severed from his body and falls to the side as blood begins to spray, and you realize the game has changed. Val doesn't know. Jack's life is immediately in danger as arterial blood sprays, and Damon Corthall is grinning with all his might, and in his mouth you can see fangs.
This episode of Canada by Night features the voices of Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, and Guy Bradford, alongside storyteller Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. Canada by Night's artwork was created by Del Borovic, at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. Canada by Night is a spin-off of the Dum Dums and Dice series Blood and Syrup. If you want to hear about what happened to Everett before he came to New Haven, look for Blood and Syrup anywhere podcasts can be found. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, my kindred. Sleep well in this world of darkness.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Alarain Okapi, Madre de Gatos, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, Corpse Knight Silver, Adam Mir 101, The Dankler, Anticore 7, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.